Today I'm flying the brand new Emirates A350 in business class from Dubai to Edinburgh. If you're new here, I'm Gabe. I travel probably a little too much and I love checking out airlines and airplanes, especially in premium cabins. My goal is to give you knowledge that'll help you travel better and maybe provide some travel inspiration along the way as well. I've been critical of Emirates in the past. I've found them overhyped and disappointing actually. This new airplane looks fantastic, but will it really deliver? I've heard a lot of complaints about the armrests and seat width when lying flat. Well, you might be surprised what I think about that. And in case you were wondering, I booked this using Aeroplan miles and Emirates has no idea I'm here. As always, I'll put the full price and how I booked it down below in the description, so check that out. Anyway, I'll be bringing you the full experience on board Emirates A350 on the nearly 8-hour run up to Scotland this afternoon, so let's do this. Welcome on board the Emirates A350. This is the third week of service on routes to Europe. It did a few flights, I think, before within the region, but this is brand new to the Emirates fleet in any case. And although I couldn't make the inaugural, which a bunch of people did, I'm doing my own video now, and I was really eager to try this out, especially because I've had mixed experiences with Emirates in the past. If you've seen those videos, some people agreed with me, some people thought I was being too harsh, but I didn't find it had that same level of quality that I would expect from its image. So it's extra fun to come back and try it out on this new aircraft with the brand new seat. This is what they're putting forward as their future, right? This is going to be a product we're going to see across the fleet. A lot of these aircraft are on their way into the fleet, and they're going to be flying a lot of flights with them. So what's it like? What do you get when you book Emirates business class nowadays? I was going to try out my Arabic ability and welcome you to Dubai Airport in Arabic, but I didn't get a chance because I spent a little too long in the lounge, and then I had to kind of rush down here where they were saying final call for boarding, but I could do it now. Anyway, if there are any of you out there that speak Arabic, you can tell me how I'm doing. Marhaba bikum fi... Wait a second. Marhaba bikum fi Matar Dubai Al-Dawli. Yeah? Let me know in the comments. I welcome all comments, except for those that accuse me of complaining. Those, I will fight you. Otherwise, as long as you don't accuse me of complaining or having an agenda or being like secretly paid by the airline itself or some other airline to discredit this one. That's been happening a lot when I give bad reviews. I'm Ethiopian. But as long as that doesn't happen, I will happily welcome all comments and constructive criticism and thoughts. I like to hear what you have to say, as long as it's not completely idiotic. You know an idiotic comment as you're typing it out, I think. Most of you are not prone to that kind of thing. Most of you are reasonable, good people, and I appreciate you. And don't forget, I've started YouTube memberships now. That means you can go down, click join down below, and you'll get fun extra perks, starting from the very affordable entry level to a little bit more. And for showing that extra support, you get fun stuff, access to me, we can chat in my WhatsApp group, that kind of thing. So I hope that you will consider joining. I do appreciate it. It supports me and the work I do here with this kind of thing, makes this a more profitable endeavor, makes it so that I can do more of them. So if you're enjoying it, consider it. Thank you very much. I absolutely love the refresh they've given the Emirates business seat here. It's essentially just an evolution of the seat you find on the A380, and I gather they're updating those to match the look and feel of this one, which is great. Whereas I find the older A380 seat a bit drab and not really aesthetically pleasing, this one looks great, the materials are luxurious, the space is cozy, there's just the right amount of space, and there's excellent privacy. There's no amenity kit though. What do you think about that? They give you slippers and eye shades made of a very nice material, and there are dental kits in the labs, but that's it. It's a nice feeling. It's got a kind of squishy, like when they make fabric out of bamboo. Botanic fibers, so it could be unique little slippers. Cool. Try those on later.
My name is Rishi Ainamati. I'm from India. and I will be assisting Captain Andrew McFarlane, who will be commanding this flight today. It's my colleague in the flight deck.
Powerful takeoff. The A350. I say it a million times, but I can't stop saying it. What a majestic machine. Okay, so first impressions of this aircraft, I'm blown away. It's just so nice. Everything kind of in its place, everything beautiful. Of course, fresh and clean, but also comfortable, nicely laid out. This little extra headrest, soft pillow on top of it. This pillow here, the quality of the leather on the seats, the storage, everything is just right. Screen is crisp and beautiful, just unbelievable resolution. Cabin itself looking sort of, wide angle view, got lovely mood lighting. There's loads of space because they don't have the overhead bins in the center section. There's this beautiful light display at the back, looking like a tree of some sort. I'm gonna have to look up what kind of tree that is. I'll probably put it in a little text thing right here because I've looked it up after this. Yeah, I'm having a great time. The Wi-Fi is free and it's fast. I was just able to send a 2-minute video over WhatsApp to a friend. Shout out to Vian. You got the takeoff video you wanted in almost real time. Of course, A350, amazing. That engine growl went on for like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I love this. I can look at the tail cam over here in the front and have the map over here, or vice versa. The entertainment system, we'll get into it in a minute, but obviously you probably already know that the ICE, Emirates' own entertainment system, is fantastic. Huge library of content. And now I have a breakfast martini, which is totally decadent. It's actually, I wasn't really planning on drinking much on this flight, but when I saw a breakfast martini, not an espresso martini, but a breakfast one, it's designed for breakfast. I had to go for that because it was just so decadent. And we'll see if I end up regretting the consequences of that. And yeah, and a plate of olives, which is nice. They had the option of olives or nuts. I don't know, I don't remember generally the service being so great on my previous Emirates flights. The cabin crew is also amazing, every single one of them fantastic, and what's on offer seems better than I remember. Yeah, and it's funny because this seat is not, they haven't changed so much about the seat. It's more an evolution from the previous version. The A380 business was the closest I have flown on before. Obviously, night and day difference to the 777 seats where you have, someone next to you, you have middle seats. Nothing to compare. But it's very similar in terms of layout to the A380 one, and yet it feels more spacious, much more comfortable. Everything is sort of better put together. The space is really well considered. We'll see how it goes. I'll try out the lie flat mode in a little while, but I just don't quite know how they've done it, taking the existing product, updating it a bit, not changing it all that much from what I can see, but just improving it so much. This product here, both hard and soft product, what Emirates is offering on the A350, I would gladly take any day on any trip, which is not what I would have said, and I certainly didn't say it about the other Emirates flights I did. It did not leave me with the impression that I would seek out Emirates. With this one, I would seek them out. This is wonderful. Anyway, cheers to breakfast martinis on the way to Edinburgh. Random choice for the first city in Europe to serve, isn't it? Can anyone tell me why Emirates chose Edinburgh, of all places? Curious to know. but I'm happy to go there. It's a nice chance to go to Scotland for a minute. Yeah, Edinburgh, lovely city, and I haven't been in years, so cheers. Ooh, that's way too delicious. Danger drink. Gotta be really careful with these. Wow, they have new updated screens. The first one is now a kind of a dimming screen that comes down, and then you have this full dark with the tree motif that you see in the back of the cabin. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
Water,
Thank you.
this is sun-dried tomato focaccia.
I'll take the garlic one, thank you.
Else to drink some red, white wine, champagne, or any other drink.
I think maybe I would take another one of these, the breakfast martini, if you don't mind.
Just gonna take a little bit of time.
No problem, yeah. So it's interesting that they didn't go for the new Airbus thinner cabin walls and the 787 style dimmers. I wonder why. Was that a conscious choice? Was it not available yet? Not sure. Maybe this was ordered before that was an option, so it's part of the earlier crop of A350s, so I wonder if ones that they get coming up in the future will have the newfangled dimming and thinner walls. We shall see. If any of you know the answer to that, be sure to let me know. So here is the Arabic meze, which I pretty much always opt for on the Gulf carriers. Nice salad alongside, a little garlic cinnamon roll. It's not, there's no cinnamon in it, but it looks like a cinnamon roll. And aside from the fact that I like the meze, I think it's fun to compare the different Gulf carriers and their mezes, their individual offerings, and how they do the meze. So far my favorite is on Qatar. Presentation, flavor, everything. Let's see how this one is. Another interesting difference between Gulf Airlines I've noticed is some will put the napkin on your lap like in a fine dining establishment, right? Whereas others, they'll serve it on a tray with the silverware inside and you do your own napkin. I don't know where I stand on that. The napkin on the lap thing is very high-end feeling, but it's also a little bit much in a way. So I'm curious to know what you think. Do you prefer having someone put a napkin in your lap or leave it to you? I think probably I prefer this. I could do it. It's no problem. Yes. A little hummus and pino. It's all very tasty. Really nice. Some kind of a variation on baba ganoush, maybe? Yeah. That's fantastic. Always my favorite, and this is a really good one. I approve. Alright, so main course, I went with the fish makbous because I generally prefer the Middle Eastern rice dishes on these flights. If there's one on the menu, I'm going to go for it. The others were more Western, and I don't often order fish on a plane. I find it usually isn't a good choice, but on balance, given the three choices, I thought this one might be the best course of action. So let's see how it is. Yeah, very nice. Doesn't disappoint. Good spices. These kind of rice dishes from the Middle East and from India, like a biryani, like a makbous, like a mahdi, always, just almost always, so good. And here we have chocolate pecan cake with some gold flake on it. That is very on brand. And some tea. English breakfast tea was calling to me today. As we pass over Iraq, I noticed the Wi-Fi got a lot slower. Be curious to see because it was very fast to start with. And it's free. I don't know if I mentioned that already. But anyway, I'll be curious to see if the Wi-Fi picks up speed once we're past this area. Sometimes when you're in these areas that have a lot of GPS jamming, actually, the Wi-Fi can become unstable or non-existent, and I think that's because the agreements around the Wi-Fi and where you can offer it have to do with what you're flying over. So if the GPS no longer understands exactly what you're flying over, then the Wi-Fi can cut out or become problematic. This I heard from some pilots on a recent flight where we were discussing the whole GPS jamming thing, which is just so common now. If you've seen any of those flight radar videos, especially the SAS A350 one, you just have it so much jamming for so much of the route, especially through here, Middle East, Black Sea, Turkey. So once we get over Europe, we'll evaluate again. Does the Wi-Fi stay good or not? One thing with having free Wi-Fi is that more people obviously log on, so that can also harm the bandwidth. We'll see. I'm gonna eat this cake now. Not that I need extra desserts mind you. But I'm always a fan when the flight attendants offer to bring another one. Usually it's because they say, that one is really good, you should try that too. Would you like another one? And that's really a mark of a great flight, when a flight attendant is thinking about what you might enjoy in addition to what you've asked for, offering up suggestions. That's such a nice feeling in a premium cabin, you know, when it just feels like they want you to have a good time. They want you to have a nice flight. That means so much, actually, compared to, you know, they could just deliver the minimum. They could do the service, pleasant. Whatever you order, they bring. That's great. There's no problem with that. That's as it should be. But when they go that extra mile, when they take that extra step to think, oh, maybe, you know, I see he's into the food and trying it out, taking pictures of it. Maybe you'd like to try the green tea yuzu cake as well, in this case. So I'm going to also have that, even though I'm very full. This continues to be such a nice experience, mostly thanks to the crew who are awesome. They're that right level of kind of like trained well for good service and also personable, friendly, proactive. If you want to chat, they'll chat. They're interested in you. It's just such a nice way to fly when you get cabin crew like that. So hats off to this one. It's really great. I had actually forgotten about how Emirates has these Polaroid cameras. They'll come around and take your photo and give you this little sweet holder for it. I mean, it's just fun, right? It's just nice. It's great to add a little bit of that fun factor into a flight. This is such a rare thing, especially in business class, right? It's kind of like, this seems a little bit too whimsical for that. But Emirates is a fun airline at its best. That's what I've always heard, and I think it is really true. The whole Emirates ethos at its best is something really great, and I'm so happy to be discovering that properly for the first time on this flight. Now, as I've been posting about this on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, make sure you do. I'll put a link below. I always do. You'll be able to see the kind of up-to-date live posting from the flights as I take them, not have to wait for these videos to come out. But anyway, a few people have gotten in touch to say, how is it lying down? Because I've heard that the armrests make it too narrow and it's annoying when you lie down. So I asked them to put this mattress pad on. It's very nice and soft. And I'm going to try it out for you, even though I'm not really planning to go to sleep. Maybe an hour nap might not be a bad idea. I think we're probably approaching Istanbul at this point, so there's 4 hours left or so. Not a bad idea to do a nap, or to try, see how we do, see how we sleep. Okay? So, let's check it out. So, okay, first impression, lying down, it doesn't seem overly narrow, and I like the fact that my arms can't fall down into the aisle on one side. That is a problem that I've come across a few times in business class seats recently, these kind of nicer, newer lie-flat seats, but they have a kind of certain amount of narrowness, plus nothing to stop your arm from kind of rolling off on the side and kind of falling down, so that makes it a little bit harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. And in this case, it seems to be that your arms are kind of well enclosed by both armrests. I'll give it another little try to see if it's actually too narrow, but first impression is that it's fine. And I think I'm a pretty average width. Let's see. So yeah, I gave it a little bit of time, and I think I'm still of the opinion that I prefer this to a seat where you're kind of open on one side and you have more of a feeling of space at the shoulders, but your arm can be kind of constantly falling over the side of the seat. This is preferable to me. Yeah, you might find yourself going under this armrest here, especially, but also I kind of prefer the chunky armrest in the upright mode when you're sitting to a lot of these seats that have a really narrow and very flimsy armrest, not very comfortable to actually put your elbow on. So on balance, I think this is great. It is a little tight, but I don't know. I don't think I'm complaining. You'd probably have to do a proper test on it overnight you know, to see if it bothered you long term sleeping a full night. But I have a feeling I wouldn't have a problem in this. What do you think? Would you? I don't know. I guess it depends how wide you are. If you're a linebacker, yeah, the seat might not work for you. You might want to go with first class. All right, who doesn't love a nice cream tea, clotted cream and jam? And that's what we're getting here. They're warm scones, or scones, should I say? And obviously, cream first. That's how we do it. Fantastic. I wish I could have this every day. Food is good, but as I've found on Emirates in the past, it's more a 7 out of 10 than a 9 or 10 out of 10. I'm not going to be complaining about that at all. It's just good to know if you're expecting a dining experience to blow your mind, you probably won't find that here. But it does the job, there's plenty on offer, and the drink selection is really good. You probably already know the ICE entertainment system is amazing, one of the best in the sky. So much selection of such a wide range of things. And this screen is huge and super crisp. If you want to spend the flight watching things, you will not be disappointed. Or like me, you can just turn the tail cam on one screen and the map on the other. Cabin crew were amazing on this one, really superb, and overall I love this flight. In large part thanks to them, but also everything was just right for me. As for the armrest, yeah, they make the seat a little on the narrow side when you lie down, but for me, at 178 centimeters or 5'10", an average build, this works. Maybe in part because I like the feeling of being well ensconced in here and kind of cocooned rather than having one arm fall into the aisle, which is actually a really common thing for me in new business class seats. It's definitely something to keep in mind though. If you find it hard to sleep without a lot of space around your shoulders when you're lying down, or if you're just bigger, then you may want to avoid this. But it gets my seal of approval for now, pending a proper test on an overnight flight.
Chilly temperature of 3 degrees Celsius. We're making excellent progress this evening. We should be arriving on schedule. Anticipate touching down just a couple of minutes past 7 p.m. local time.
Nearly 8 hours flew by in this very comfy seat, and now in the northern winter darkness, it's time to land at Edinburgh. Such a good flight, and how cool to be in Scotland, even if it's only for just 19 hours. Really nice. And even though I don't have a coat and it's 3 degrees Celsius, my down jacket is in Jeddah. I don't know, comes with the territory, I guess. Although I've never had to deal with this situation. Welcome to Edinburgh, welcome to Scotland. I have a short time here, really cool to be back after many years since I've been up in the north of the UK in Scotland, and this is a really cool city. If you haven't been, I definitely recommend it from my memory. Anyway, really nice. Maybe I'll go get some haggis tomorrow morning. Feels like the right thing to do.
Hello there, hello! Welcome to Edinburgh.
I got that on camera. So nice to see Emirates living up to some of the hype that surrounds it, which hadn't been the case on my previous flights. Everything about it was great, we've already gone over that, and the little touches, you know, like seeing that I didn't have a water bottle anymore in my minibar, and so she came over and brought one, even though it was right at the end of the flight. We were basically descending. She didn't need to do that, but she did that. Or the other flight attendant remembering that I had milk in my tea the previous time, even though he didn't even serve the tea, he just cleared it. That's next level. That's really top level service, and it was so nice to be able to fly like that. I would take that any day, any route, and in fact I'm thinking about how I can use the Aeroplan miles I have to book another one of these soon. Hopefully they start sending the A350 to more destinations so we can try a new one next time, and maybe fly a little further, try an overnight. Anyway, thanks for coming along. See you next time. I'm freezing without a coat. I'm gonna go try and find my hotel.